Wellness Rhythm Show. Find your rhythm. Live your wellness.
Y'all, let me tell you something. Last month, I hit this wall, like a real wall, not just the 3 p.m. coffee slump. I'm talking about waking up after 8 hours of sleep and still feeling like I'd been run over by a minivan. And I just kept thinking, what is happening to my body?
Right, and that feeling has a surprisingly specific biological explanation. It comes down to what's happening inside your cells, specifically inside structures called mitochondria, and a molecule called NAD+. And here's the thing, both of them decline measurably with age.
Which, when David explained this to me, I genuinely felt seen at a cellular level. Like it's not just me being lazy or stressed. There is actual science behind the exhaustion.
Exactly. So today, we're digging into why your cellular energy factories slow down as you get older, what NAD+ depletion actually means, and what the evidence says about slowing that process down. No miracle cures, just the real picture.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning because I know mitochondria sends half our listeners straight back to high school biology class. Give us the quick and honest version.
Right. So mitochondria are tiny structures inside almost every cell in your body. Their primary job is to convert the food you eat and the oxygen you breathe into usable energy. That energy is called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Every time you think, move, or breathe, ATP is what's powering it.
So they are literally your body's power plants.
That's not even a metaphor. That's mechanistically accurate. And here's where it gets relevant for our audience. Research published in the journal Cell Metabolism, and a lot of subsequent work by researchers like David Sinclair at Harvard, shows that mitochondrial function declines significantly as we age.
And we're not talking about a slow, gentle slide either. This can start happening in your 30s, which, hi, that's me.
It starts becoming measurable in your 30s and accelerates through your 40s and 50s. Mitochondria become less efficient. They produce more damaging byproducts called reactive oxygen species, and there are simply fewer of them doing the work.
So you've got fewer power plants, and the ones you have are running less cleanly.
That's a good way to put it. And this connects directly to that bone-deep fatigue a lot of people in our audience describe. It's also linked to cognitive fog, slower recovery from exercise, and reduced resilience to stress.
Okay, so this brings us to NAD+, because that's the molecule I kept seeing everywhere, in supplements, in longevity articles, on random Instagram accounts. What actually is it?
Right, NAD+ stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. It's a coenzyme, essentially a helper molecule, that mitochondria absolutely depend on to generate ATP. Without adequate NAD+, the energy production process stalls.
So it's like the fuel delivery system, not just the fuel itself.
Good analogy, and the crucial problem is that NAD+ levels drop dramatically with age. Research from a team at Washington University in St. Louis, published in Cell Metabolism in 2016, found that NAD+ levels in skeletal muscle decline by roughly 50% between your 20s and your 60s.
50%. That is not a rounding error. That is half your cellular fuel delivery system disappearing.
And this isn't just about energy. NADUAS activates a family of proteins called sirtuins, which David Sinclair's lab has studied extensively. Sirtuins regulate DNA repair, inflammation control, and cellular stress responses. So when NAD+ drops, a lot of protective mechanisms go quiet.
Here's the thing, though. When I first heard all of this, I thought, okay, so I'll just buy an NAD+ supplement and fix it. But it's not quite that simple, right?
This is where I want to be genuinely measured, because the supplement market around this is enormous, and the claims get quite loud. The evidence for direct NAD+ supplementation is still emerging. What has more solid research behind it are NAD+ precursors, specifically NMN and NR.
NMN being nicotinamide mononucleotide, and NR being nicotinamide riboside. Both of them the body can convert into NAD+.
Right. Human clinical trials, including work by Charles Brenner at City of Hope and studies out of Washington University, have shown that NR and NMN supplementation does meaningfully raise blood NAD+ levels. The bigger open question is whether raising those levels translates to the health outcomes people are hoping for.
Which is honest, and I appreciate it. But it's also not, there's zero evidence, which is what a lot of people assume.
Correct. It's promising and early rather than proven and definitive. And I think that nuance matters enormously for our audience, particularly anyone making financial decisions about supplements.
Now, let's talk about something that I find really compelling, which is the lifestyle side of this, because there are things you can actually do right now that have strong evidence behind them. No supplement required.
Absolutely. And this is the part that I think gets underplayed in the longevity content you see online, which understandably focuses on the flashier molecular interventions. The fundamentals genuinely move the needle on mitochondrial health.
Exercise. Let's start there.
Exercise is arguably the single most well-evidenced intervention for mitochondrial health. Research published in Cell Metabolism by Matthew Leahy and colleagues showed that endurance exercise increases both the number and the efficiency of mitochondria through a process called mitochondrial biogenesis. It essentially signals your body to build more power plants.
And this works even if you're starting later in life. I want to say that clearly because I know we have listeners in their 50s and 60s who worry it's too late.
The research supports that. A landmark study from the Mayo Clinic, published in 2017, found that high-intensity interval training in particular was especially effective at reversing age release, related mitochondrial decline, and crucially, this was true in older adults. Participants over 65 showed significant mitochondrial improvements.
Y'all, if that isn't permission to start, I don't know what is. You're not too old. The biology says otherwise.
Beyond exercise, sleep is critical and gets almost criminally undervalued in this context. Matthew Walker's research at UC Berkeley, summarized in his book Why We Sleep, documents how sleep deprivation increases oxidative stress and impairs mitochondrial function directly.
I felt that personally. My worst energy periods always track back to my worst sleep periods. It's not a coincidence, it's causation.
And diet plays a real role. Polyphenol-rich foods, particularly things like blueberries, dark leafy greens, and yes, the endlessly discussed resveratrol in red wine, activate some of the same sirtuin pathways that NAD+ supports. The research on dietary polyphenols from institutions like the Salk Institute shows genuine cellular benefits.
Okay, quick moment here because if you're getting value from this conversation, please do us a favor and like and subscribe to the Wellness Rhythm Show. It genuinely helps us reach more people who need this kind of grounded, evidence-based take on wellness. We appreciate every single one of you.
Right, and on the topic of practical integration, I want to address the skepticism that a lot of analytically minded listeners will have, which I fully share by default. This whole space has a real hype problem.
Oh, absolutely. The longevity supplement industry is $1 billion market, and not all of it is honest.
So here's how I'd frame it. Lifestyle interventions, regular vigorous exercise, consistent quality sleep, a polyphenol-rich whole food diet, stress management, these have strong, replicated, peer-reviewed evidence for supporting mitochondrial function. Full stop.
And the supplements, NMN and NR specifically?
Worth watching. The preclinical data is compelling, and the human trial data on NAD+ elevation is real. But I wouldn't recommend spending significantly on them before having the lifestyle fundamentals genuinely in place. The return on investment of the basics is far better established.
Here's the thing, though. This is where I actually disagreed with David a little when we were prepping. Because I think for some people, especially the sandwich generation listener who is exhausted, caring for aging parents and raising kids simultaneously, sometimes a supplement can be a useful bridge while you're trying to get the lifestyle stuff stable.
That's a fair point, and I'll concede it. If someone has looked at credible sources, understands the limitations, and can afford it without financial stress, NR in particular has a reasonable safety profile and some meaningful human data. It's not snake oil.
Which from David is basically a glowing endorsement.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, let's bring this home. The big picture here is that mitochondrial decline is real. NAD+ depletion is real. And the fatigue and brain fog many of us feel in our 30s, 40s, 50s is not just life. It has a biological basis.
And importantly, that biology is not a fixed destiny. The research consistently shows that the trajectory can be meaningfully altered through choices that are genuinely accessible to most people.
So if you're walking away with one thing today, let it be this. Move your body with real intensity, protect your sleep like it's your most valuable asset, eat foods that your mitochondria can actually use, and before you spend $1 on any supplement, do those 3 things consistently. That is where the evidence is strongest and where your energy will come from.
Right. The mitochondria aren't going to fix themselves, but they are remarkably responsive to the signals you send them. The research on that is genuinely encouraging. Start with the basics, take the science seriously, and be appropriately skeptical of anything that promises results without the work.
Y'all, thank you so much for spending this time with us. We're rooting for your energy, literally at the cellular level. Take good care of those mitochondria, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Indeed, and do get some sleep.
The show is part of the VoxCrea.ai system. If you want a show like this for your organization without building it yourself,
Go to voxcreel.ai and request a sample episode.